Hey guys, so let's just dive right into this today. I got a question on Instagram about my video last week, specifically in regards to the opening shot where it looks as though the camera is going through some low-hanging clouds to reveal my neighborhood. Now, this is a super easy effect to do, and all you need is a PNG image of some clouds and any software that has motion tracking. Now, I personally use Adobe After Effects, but again, you can use anything that has motion tracking. So let's just dive into this. Okay, so we are in Adobe After Effects. Now, what I'm going to do first is show you the actual drone clip from last week's video. So this is what it is. It's pretty boring, just flying over my neighborhood. All right, so what I want to do is kind of create a little more interest by adding clouds, and I want to make it seem as though the camera is punching through some of these low-hanging clouds. So what we're going to do first is we're going to come up here and we are going to go to 3D camera tracker. Now we're going to drag that onto here. Okay, so that will bring up a bunch of different planes. So we can literally like go all the way to the back, see, like way back here if we really wanted to, but we want the clouds to be close. So we're gonna pick a point that is pretty close to the camera. So I'm gonna come like right about here. Now I'm going to right click, do create null and camera, and that will add this down here. All right, so next thing we wanna do is go back to project and click Cloud PNG, and we're gonna plop that on top. Now, we're using a PNG and not like a JPEG because PNGs have transparent backgrounds, and that means that they can be layered over other images or colors to create unique custom effects. So that's what we're going to do here. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to come down here and make sure that this layer is 3D. So we're going to click in this box right below this little cube here, and that will make it a 3D image. We also want to make sure that this is parented to the track null 1. So all you have to do is click on that squiggly and then drag it over there. And that way it'll follow that point that we clicked on. Okay. So now we can move these clouds all over the place, so we can kind of adjust them the way we want to. Now I kind of want to keep them away from the clouds on top because as you can see, it kind of looks really unnatural if we do that. So I'm going to keep it lower because lower is better. Okay, so we're just going to kind of adjust this a little bit. And then I'm also going to kind of rotate it because there's a lot more on this side than this side. So we're going to come up here and click this little rotation tool. Come down here to the Z axis. And whoa, that was a lot. And so we're just going to kind of make it a little more even. Okay. So we're going to keep it there because, yeah. Okay, so next thing we want to do is come over here again. We are going to go to Turbulent Displace. Now we're going to drag those onto the clouds. Okay, now what this is going to do is it's going to make the clouds sort of move, and it's going to move like right around here. So then it makes it look like there's actually something flying through those clouds. So what we're going to do first is we're going to make sure we're at the very beginning. Then we're going to come up here and click the stopwatch next to evolution, and that will create a keyframe. So what we're going to do next is kind of, let's go towards the middle because we want to see how these clouds are going to move, right? So let's just go right here. Now we're going to drag this to, let's just try like 89, let's do 90, 93. Click U if you want to drop down this bar so we kind of see where the keyframe is. Okay, so now, as you can see, these clouds kind of move around a little bit more, like they're in like a swirl motion. But as you can see, when we get to like right here, that's when the clouds stop moving and we keep flying past them. So we don't want that. We don't want the clouds to just stop. Okay, so what we're going to do now is take this keyframe and just drag it to the end. And then that will solve that problem of the clouds no longer moving. Easy, right? So then they just keep moving throughout the whole thing. All right. So now I really like that. I like that a lot better than the original drone footage, but we can also do one more thing. We can do one more thing. I mean, obviously you can do a lot more things, but one other thing we can do to kind of make this look more natural is we're going to come back over here and we're going to go to Lumetri color. All right. Now we're going to drag this onto our clouds and we're going to come up here and we're going to click on this basic correction tab. We're going to come down to the white balance temperature. All right. So these clouds up here they have like a little more of a blue tint to them. Unlike our clouds that have like an orange, whatever kind of tint. So let's just kind of drag this down a little bit to the left to make it a little cooler. Now, if we can get really crazy and go down, but just kidding, we're not gonna do that. So let's just go to like, how about like 14, 15? That way it has that bluish hint or bluish hue to it that these clouds up here have. And voila, that's kind of where we're at. Now let's take a look at this and see what we think. All right, so that wasn't so bad. So let's try it from a slightly different angle to see what kind of results we can get. Okay, so we have another drone shot with a different angle this time. Pretty basic. Got a couple people going through an intersection, and that's about the extent of it. I already went ahead and did everything, but again, I will walk you through this process, which is exactly the same as what we just did. So we have to make sure that we have the 3D camera tracker on there, and that will show us all of these planes, and we just choose one, right click, go down to create null in camera. That will create these two layers, and then we can add in our clouds. All right, and we just want to make sure that they're 3D and that they're also parented to track null 1. And on top of that, we also want to put turbulent displace on both of them. So we make a keyframe up at evolution and use this to kind of decide how much we want them to move and go from there. So with a little bit of sound design and a couple more things added to it, this is what the final product looks like. So yeah, it's that easy. I will link some PNG images of clouds down below in the description, along with some drone footage. So feel free to download those and try this out for yourself. But that's all I got for you today. Until next time, I'm Kris. See ya.